Welcome to Nursing 620. This is your Nurse Manager Clinical Practicum. This is your final practicum in your MSN coursework. So, with that being said, we're really going to customize this experience to build your leadership practice. So, before we get started with the course itself, you need to make sure that you have your preceptor secured and that there is an existing contract, or we need to move forward with getting a contract with your practicum site. In addition, you need to look at your Castle Branch profile and assure that everything is up to date. And if there are requirements that do expire during your practicum experience, you need to be sure to be aware of that and update those requirements when they come due. Otherwise, you will have to put your practicum experience on hiatus until those requirements are completed. So just keep that in mind. As always, don't start your practicum until you get the green light from me. Just a little hint that you will have to do your goals and objectives by January the 25th, and you'll have to have all your documents in place by January 25th. So before the course is ideal as far as the practicum requirement documents in your Castle Branch. Your goals and objectives, you need to talk to your preceptor about those goals and objectives. So those are due by January the 25th. So let's go ahead and take a dive into the course itself. This is the announcement section. So under the instructor section, that's where all of my contact information is included. And then we're going to go into the syllabus and start here section. So you will find the syllabus posted here. And this is a general overview of the course itself, and the evaluation methods are included in the syllabus as well. And then we have our plan for success. So I'm going to open that up momentarily. So the plan for success really is your roadmap throughout the practicum experience. So we talked about the course itself back in Nursing 605. And as far as the practicum preparation, we talked about that when we went through the initial announcement. But again, those requirements need to be completed by January the 25th, if not before that date. Your goals and objectives need to be completed by January the 25th. Your change project logic model needs to be completed by April the 10th. And your presentation at your practicum site needs to be completed by May the 1st. And the key factor here is you need to plan ahead with the presentation, because you need to make arrangements for a date, a time at the practicum location for that presentation. So you need to be talking with your preceptor early on, because you'll establish your change project or improvement project subject matter, and then you will be doing a presentation at the practicum site. And we'll get into more detail about that later on. With your journal entries, it's a little different this time. You will be choosing 6 of the following topics for your journal entry. So you will be using the topics as the subject matter for your journal entries. So it's not like last practicum where I defined the topics of your journaling. You will be defining what topics you choose based on how you want to build your leadership practice. So keep that in mind. And you will also need to submit those journal entries as you experience that particular topic in your practicum. So do not wait until the very last due date of May the 1st to submit your journals. You need to be submitting the journals on an ongoing basis throughout your practicum experience. And there's additional information in the course itself as far as doing the journal process in the course materials or course documents, or rubric section, in the course itself. So you will also be logging your practicum hours, and that will actually be included on that goals and objectives form that's in the course itself. So you will be establishing goals and objectives, and then you'll be using the bottom part of that form to log your practicum hours. So that's a twofold form, but again, we're going to go into more detail about that particular form as you go into the course. As far as the evaluation methods, goals and objectives are 10% of your coursework, and your change project logic model will be 30%. Your organizational presentation is 15%, and the clinical journals will be 30%. So you will be doing 6 journals that will be worth 5 points each, and then your preceptor evaluation and your evaluation of your preceptor and practicum site combined will be a total of 15%. As we move on down in our syllabus and start here section, there's also information and guidance for APA format and general information as far as the ADA statement, academic honesty, and I do complete grading within 1 week of the due date for your assignments, and I respond to you within 48 hours, if not sooner, and typically it's much sooner than that. So as we move on in the course, you also have a direct link to the library right embedded within the course, so this will help you as you're completing your assignments. We are going to go into the course materials, and you'll see that it's separated out into rubrics and your practicum course document. So in the rubrics section, I've included screencast-o-matics for each one of the assignments, so make sure that you view the screencast-o-matic for each one of the assignments before you get started. For the change project, there is actually the rubric is listed here, and then there's a document that you will use to complete your logic model. And again, the document provides structure to your logic model and will help you as you're working through the logic model for your change or improvement plan. When we move on down to the organizational presentation, again, the rubric is listed here. I've included a screencast-o-matic. Make sure that you watch the screencast-o-matic before you proceed with your completing your presentation. Again, the same holds true with the goals and objectives. There is actually a goals and objectives form that's listed right here. And then there's a rubric for that particular form. So make sure that when you do your goals and objectives, you use the form that is uploaded here, and you will then include your documentation of all your practicum hours on the log portion of that particular form. So again, watch the screencast-o-matic. There's some guidance as far as writing SMART objectives. And then there's also guidance on doing your journals. So the criteria is listed here, and there's a screencast-o-matic, and here are the topics that you may choose from for your journal entries. Again, you will be doing 6 journal entries, and they will be based on the topics that are listed here, and there is one wild card that you can choose a topic that's very pertinent to your particular practicum that may not be listed in the other topics. So again, we want to make this very customized to building your leadership practice. So make sure that when you're writing your journals that they're reflective in nature. It's not a list of what you've done. It's really reflecting on those very rich experiences. And there's specific guidance and pointers as far as writing your journals in the criteria. So again, as we're in the course materials, you then have your practicum course documents. And these are the documents that you will need to access for your practicum experience. And this is where you will find the clinical contract agency form, the preceptor data and agreement form, the preceptor packet, the student evaluation of the preceptor, and the preceptor evaluation of the student. So know that all those documents are included in that folder that is listed as practicum course documents. So next we're going to go into the assignments section. And in the assignments, there is a drop box for all of the requirements of the course. So they're basically in the order that you need to complete them, starting out with the documentation for your practicum itself, including your goals and objectives. All of those are listed first, and then it goes into all the journal entries. So know that there's a specific journal submission for each one of the 6 entries, and the final one is due by May the 1st. But remember, those journals need to be done as you are experiencing those particular topics in your practicum experience. There's the submission for your logic model, the change presentation, your clinical log that will be completed at the very end. So you only submit your clinical log when you have all 90 hours documented. And then here's where the preceptor evaluation of the student goes. If for some reason your preceptor doesn't want to supply that form to you, they can email that form directly to me. It needs to get to me by May the 1st, and the same with your evaluation of your preceptor or practicum. Make sure that that's uploaded by May the 1st. And tying everything up, I do have a link for virtual office hours included within the course. I am doing those by appointment, so let me know if you want to have a conversation, even if you want to talk about the subject matter of your change or improvement plan, those types of things. We can most certainly do that via Zoom. We can also do that via email. Just know that I am available to you, whatever works best for you as far as communication modes. So if you need anything throughout the course, make sure that you reach out to me. The best line of communication for the first contact is ideally through email. If you need something quicker, you can always use my cell phone that's included in the instructor section, and you can text me. But if you text me, please let me know who you are, or you can most certainly call me as well. So if you need anything, let me know. I look forward to sharing this course with you.